It doesn't look like Dillian Whyte and Andy Ruiz Jr. are going to be facing each other. That's fine. Dillian Whyte, I think, recently called Andy Ruiz a fat cunt, which is at least half accurate, because Ruiz, certainly in his latest incarnation against Anthony Joshua, was one rotund mother trucker. I don't think he's a cunt. He seems like an alright guy. But I don't mind if that fight doesn't go ahead, because Ruiz needs time away from the sport. He needs to consider, do I really want to push myself and get into the shape that's necessary to really get into title contention again? And indeed, if I do get a title shot, actually make the most of it. Now, the guy who Dillian Whyte seems most likely to face now is Russian Alexander Povetkin, now 40 years of age. Povetkin, in his last fight, got a split draw with Michael Hunter, a guy of moderate talent, shall we say, and he was probably lucky to get that split draw. Povetkin now, as he's got older, I think for a guy of his style and dimensions, he's actually de-aged, if that's the right word, quite well. But he hasn't got the same stamina. He's a bit easy to hit. The speed's gone a little bit, and those things are just becoming a bit more apparent now. The fact he hasn't got the same stamina in the later rounds, and you can see it's more ragged, he isn't able to press the advantage he used to be able to, say, quite a few years ago, when he managed to turn up the heat against Mariusz Wach and get the stoppage. He is a diminished force. So for Matchroom, that makes perfect sense. The casual fan recognises Povetkin. He's fought Joshua and he's fought David Price. So this is a good fight for Dillian Whyte, albeit still a little bit risky, because I don't really rate Dillian Whyte. He's a bit sloppy still. For whatever improvements he's supposed to have made, we still see a guy who's a bit off balance, a bit sloppy, and for a guy with a pretty good reach, he can't really keep you at the end of that jab like a guy should be able to if he's like at least top, some people think top 5 in the heavyweight division today. He's still a bit sloppy, and he often has to settle for slugging it out, gritting it out, and just overpowering you at the end. Povetkin is still better fundamentally. He still has the clever shots. He throws that sneaky little step in, then overhand right into the left hook. That threw Anthony Joshua off a lot in their fight. And he has the cute little left uppercut to go with the left hook. Those quick ambush attacks that can definitely get in against Dillian Whyte, who is no defensive whiz. But I'd expect Whyte, if this fight is made, which makes perfect sense for him in a way, to basically overpower him and be able to gut it out, because he's a guy in his career now, he should have more ambition and reason to go forward now and make it happen. He's been waiting in the wings for a long time. He's been waiting for his shot against Wilder, but he's going to have to wait for that. And Joshua, he's probably going to fight Pulev and then maybe fight Usyk later this year. So Dillian Whyte is still in a tricky situation, you know. To a degree, I feel for him, because he's having to wait here, still take difficult fights, still waiting for his big shot. It's kind of crazy to think he hasn't really had a shot at a world title yet when you look at all the guys Wilder has defended that WBC title against. So it is a tricky one, and it's kind of like, because Povetkin at his best would probably beat Whyte, but I see Whyte beating Povetkin, if this one goes ahead, at least by points, as the younger man with more to prove and a bit more in the basement, as Rocky says.